Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Jessica, and today on our little farm I am going to be showing you how I start my garden. I finally got my seeds that I ordered back at the end of January, so I'm going to get them started. And it is nice enough out today that I'm going to go out and work in the garden and get that, hopefully get it cleaned up and get it ready for the first tilling. My husband and I like to do a couple tillings so that way everything can get worked in and it's nice and smooth and ready for the plants. Alright, let's get going. Alright, today what we're going to do is we're going to plant some vegetables. What I did was I took these containers that have the seed flats and then I poured hot water on it to make them puff up, the little pellet things. Oops, there we go. Actually, there we go. What you're going to do is you're going to take a pencil or something sharp, and you're just going to break up the ground a little bit. That's all you got to do right there, just to get it loose. Okay, and then you're going to take your seed or whatever you're planting. Put those right there. There we go. And then you're going to take your seed and then you're just going to place it in your pot and then cover it up. And then you're just going to keep working until you get as many as you want. Just like that. And then this pot I already got planted, and then I just got the clear dome over top of it. And what it's going to do is, with this dome, it helps it keep the humidity in there, keep things moist. You do have to make sure that, watch it. If it starts, you may have to take the dome off if it starts to get moldy, so watch it carefully. And then it'll help keep your little mini greenhouse. Okay, if you can see, it's been about a week. And my broccoli and cauliflower have already come up quite a bit. So I'm going to transplant them. And then I'm going to re-water my tomatoes and my peppers and put the lid back on and let them grow some more. So what I'm going to do is just take my little... I have here is just a pie, or not a pie, a baking pan. And I just filled it with some dirt. So I'm going to loosen up this thingy, mesh thingy, almost like tear it apart here, just like that. And then I'm going to put a little hole in my pan here. Want some dirt on the bottom of it, and I just want to pile it up around it so I can strengthen these stems, make them a little bit stronger. Alright, you can see I left about this much, and remember it was about, let's see if I can get that. It's about that tall, and I only left about that much sticking out. And I'm going to repeat that with all the rest of them in my thing here. Okay, now I got them all planted. You can see, there we go. And I watered it. And then a trick my grandmother showed me how to do is you take some toothpicks and you put them in the corner of your pan. Oops. And then one in the center. And then you're going to put plastic wrap over top of your pan. And the toothpicks keep the plastic wrap from the leaves, because if you have, it causes mold and could hurt your plants. So, well, that's what she told me anyway. So I'm just going to put a few toothpicks in here. And then I'm going to put my plastic wrap over top, and then I'm going to put it back in the sun so it can finish growing. Okay, and now it's all done. I had to add a few more toothpicks because the plants were a little bit taller. But I got it right in the sun, and then they will continue growing and getting stronger until it's time for them to go outside. And when the plants get too big, then I'm just going to take the plastic off and just let them continue growing until it's time to go outside. And once I take the plastic off, you will have to water them a little bit more when the plastic is on them, you don't have to water them quite as much because it creates, forms condensation and it keeps the moisture in. But once the plastic comes off, you're going to have to water them more. Alright, I am going to be working in the garden. I did get some of it, the weeds pulled from last year. I'm going to get this cleaned up and looking better, so if he wants to get the tilling done, he can get it done. Well, as I'm clearing stuff away, I find I have a tree growing, and I do believe that may be another apple tree. And I find that some of the roses that were in this section are not dead. So I'm going to leave them in what flowers are still over in this section, and I'll just work around them. Because this part of the garden used to be the flower part of the garden, and then we just use this up there for the vegetables. So, alright, I'll just keep working through. As you can see, I got all the weeds moved. I put a barrier around where the flowers are, so we can expend the... Dalton's finishing my pile over here, moving it to the big pile of weeds. Dirk added some manure to it and is now tilling it up a bit, and then we're going to let it sit before we till it again. Well, he's getting closer done with the first round. He's starting to go over it a second time. Alright, it's been a few days, and we got about 3 days of heavy rain. And what we're going to do is just let this dry out. And when it's dry out, we're going to till it up about 2 more times before we plant anything. And my flowers, they're really liking not having the weeds. They're starting to come up. And then I'm possibly planning on planting some raspberry plants. I'm going to get this worked up once I see if the raspberries come up from last couple of years. And I'm going to work this up and plant some raspberries along the fence. Alright, let me go inside and show you how much those plants that I replanted grew. Alright guys, I just wanted to give you one last update before I close out the video. This is 2 days later from when I actually planted them. And look how much they have gone up again. See, where is my finger? Yeah, they have gone back up to their original height. So, I had to take the plastic off of them, but I am keeping them. The ground is still wet and moist, keeping it moist so they don't die. Alright, you guys have a good day, and God bless.